All right, so this is what my final animation looks like. So if you're curious as to what I did to try and make some of the things look a certain way, I actually put the rough on. You could turn it off and not have it, but I like the line quality where it has a little bit, so I basically just turned that on. In order to show it, I went to the object and also made this one in front. So and also the final has in front. So just to make sure that both of those are in front. And I just went to the rough and I changed its material back to black, but then I gave it some alpha, made it semi-transparent so it doesn't like stick out way in front. But that's more or less what I did with there. Obviously, I painted. If you look at the final, I just have the colors here, and I just basically painted it as you see. That's how I did that. I obviously also updated the background just so it would have some color back there. I just try to keep everything in that kind of neutral brown tone. Um, I did add some other special effects, if you will. So on the final here, I just did a rim light, which is what you see here. I also did a glow, which you can kind of really see it on the foot there. It's kind of strong there, but just to give it a little bit like the sun's hitting it. Um, just need to make sure you adjust the threshold so it's not like too blown out. And then I did another rim for the shadow underneath. You just need to make sure that I switch it to multiply, and then I know it's weird because it's like a light color, but the reason for that is so that way it only does because it's multiply, it only adds dark. So if you make like a really light color, it's only going to add a little bit of shadow. So that's why you got to just make sure you do that. That's how I did the underneath shadow, and then the shadow on the back. The way I did that was actually a little bit different. I actually duplicated this final, and I made one called Shadow, and then I added a colorize effect, black, which I don't think that one does. Oh no, it does do it. Okay, Control Z. Um, oh, that's the custom one. I'm sorry. I don't. Oh yeah. So basically, I did a custom colorize, and I made it black, so it just made it pure black. So if I and then I did another one that makes it transparent, and then I can just adjust the strength of the shadow here. So if I want it darker or lighter, I can just kind of make some adjustments. I think it looks a little bit better when it's darker. And then so I did that, and then what I did is I just rotated it on the x-axis, so it's facing that direction. That just gives the illusion that it's like a shadow being cast from above, sort of. And then you end up with this. So hopefully yours turn out well. I'm not super happy with it. The motion's okay. There's some things that could definitely be improved, like his head just looks very stiff because it's the same drawing. I mean, I knew I redrew it each time. The line quality is horrendous. I really don't like the lines on the outside, but I didn't want to spend forever doing it. So there's just a bit of inconsistency and stuff. And even the motion looks a little whatever. But next time I'll just do better. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of how to just kind of go through the process. You can see there's a lot of work just to get to this point. But the nice thing is because it is a loop, you can kind of like milk it and just have it play forever. I could have like objects moving across from behind and then, just play this for a little bit. But yeah, that's it.